We usually do closing remarks at this Web3 Investor Day with an interactive session. I think a lot of embracing the new technologies is always about digesting, synthesizing what you learn, how you're going to apply it. And I apologize. This year we didn't have as much Q&A. My colleagues for this last session to run around and really make this an audience participation session. And I'll start with that. Emil, why don't you have some final closing remarks, and then we'll go into the exercise.
I do have some closing remarks, but first, I'd like to thank Paul and Keith, who's always hovering in the background, who did a tremendous amount of work. I'm just the dancing monkey for today, but these are the guys who actually spent weeks, months doing it. So let's have a hand for the hard workers. So my comments, what I learned, I'm not going to pull out any one or two things, but what I can see today is everything's moving forward. Everything we weren't sure was going to work a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, when the war on crypto was going on, everything's getting fixed. Everything's moving forward. Institutional adoption is moving forward. Stable coins, which we need, is moving forward. Trading, perps in the United States, that is moving forward. Everything is coming. Everything is coming together. The perfect storm to make all this work. Now, a question, who of you are going to increase their crypto investments in the next year? Okay, that's most people. So it's not the status quo. Everything's building, everything's moving up. And this is probably the first time in years that we're in this situation. So this is a great time. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's a great time for us.
I love this takeaway, and building on this, I feel very bullish about our conversations today. Pause here a little bit. My colleagues are roaming around with microphones. Any other learnings from the crowd that you want to share? Raise your hand, and Teresa or Abdul can run around. One up here.
Is that a planted question?
No. Okay.
So I guess I'll just...
Question or perspective, yeah, absolutely.
No, just some comments. So I'm indeed coming from a different community, so I got invited here. I'm a faculty member at Purdue. I work on blockchain for around 15 years, completely as a technologist, and always see a divide between what I like as technology and what works in industry. I mean, I hold dearly the decentralization to my heart, but I see that maybe that's just a myth word in practice. So it's very nice to come here and understand the perspective, what works, what's driving market, what's VC likes and other likes. So thanks a lot for that.
No, I think this is such a great comment. There's so much about being a technologist, especially in blockchain and AI, where researchers talk about the theoretical. And as a venture capitalist, you get surrounded by the theoretical all day. You can read academic papers. But what we really wanted to create here was, how do we get practical with these use cases? What are founders doing? The pitch competition, the gaming, the commerce, the DeFi, the trading strategies. What are those practical applications? And it's such a great observation that you're describing. We want to locate it here in Chicago, the land of practicality, the hustle and hard work. It's really about bringing these technologies to industry.
And just to add to that, AI means that technology people are converging with mainstream people. AI agents is making it possible for people to build incredible things without writing a line of code. So this is where the world is going. And
they speak code, vibe code it.
Yeah, and this is where AI and crypto are merging, and the whole thing is going to become seamless and transparent to you.
We'll open it up for another audience insight. I think we have a hand raised over here. And then Teresa, if you could queue up the next one, I think maybe this individual.
Hey, how everyone doing? I was gonna project. just being in the banking world, from where I work at, I work with Capital One, and to see that just a few years ago, in the banking world, AI wasn't cared for at all. People didn't talk about stablecoins at all, but just seeing where coins are going is very interesting, in which I do think that it may cause a lot of even more institutional involvement, in investments, because with them being bagged by, something that's actually tangible now, stablecoins absolutely rock. It's going to be huge. You could see it. And being in the banking world, like, moving money in real time within 24 hours as well, not having to wait on the Mondays and things like that. I got a question for any one of you all that's here. With stable coins being like one of the things in the future, do everyone think that, I want to word it the right way, but more so, have we thought about any of the biggest problems right now that would stop the main institutional buyers and everything from even adopting anything with stable coins? Because banks will want to use them. And that's going to be huge for the next few years. So,
what are some of the headwinds to stablecoins? I think that the value proposition is so strong. Stablecoins are so pro-consumer. It's hard to, fight against that tidal wave. But always bad actors, headwinds. Yep.
But to your point, bad actors in crypto are part of the game. And I lost some money to a fishing expedition years ago, and I called one of the top guys at Galaxy, and he was like trying to help me. And he goes, well, now you're really part of the club, because we've all been through this, right? Anybody who's really in crypto has gone through this. Now, I think things are getting better, and they'll get considerably better in the coming years.
I guess my response, I guess I do need a microphone, is
thank you, Rod.
Is when you do go mainstream, and you think about FTX, right? FTX was off to the side. Now you're bringing the stable coins in, and I do believe there's going to be a rational exuberance. What happens when the rational exuberance takes down the Lehman Brothers or the Bear Stearns from 2008 in this new current environment?
But that's the market. Okay, so like Lehman Brothers had nothing to do with crypto or AI or anything. So you're going to get situations where leverage gets too high, a black swan happens, something happens and takes the system down. Let's face it, that's capitalism. And I don't know that they're ever going to stop that. And if you did stop that, would we have the same markets and economy? I'm not so sure.
I think we have the next.
I just wanted to make a comment on that. I mean, bad actors in crypto, sure, but you have bad actors in banking. I mean,
bad actors
they're the
everywhere.
ones who took down the 2008 financial crisis by just joking around. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
I don't really see the point of that argument, in my opinion. I think you gotta,
I think
it's like you said earlier, it's pro-consumer.
An interesting parallel would be the speed of information speeded up with the broadband revolution, the onset of 3G, 4G, 5G mobile networks. You're seeing the ramifications of good and bad actors with the speed of information. You're going to see the same thing with good and bad actors, unsavory actors. Who knows what happens in the speed of money?
Yeah, and you're always gonna want to be there, but at the end of the day, when you have your stable coins and you have your wallets, you're not part of the SWIFT system, right? So that's a big benefit right there. So your bad actors in the banking industry can, destroy the world economy like in 2008, but it's a lot less likely, and risk mitigation is a lot more actually via stable coins, in my opinion.
But there was no guardrails in crypto a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because I actually think it helped it grow faster, because you broke things, but it kept advancing. And I think now we're going to have more guardrails. The financial system, when it breaks, it's usually a systemic problem.
I'm going to call on it. Right here.
So I'm embarrassed to say that I was hit with the drainer a few months ago. And I think I clicked on one link and someone got my private keys and Lucky it was
sorry.
on a very low crypto wallet that didn't have anything on there. And it was like a 0-day exploit. In fact, I think it took several months for Microsoft researchers to figure out what was going on. And it was so weird because every time I sent crypto, it would hit the wallet that was going to, and then immediately get sent to a secondary wallet. And that's kind of scared me because I was like, what the hell is going on? And I've got a security degree from University of Texas. Now I'm thinking to myself, what's going to happen to the average person that is getting into crypto? That to me scared the hell out of me, which is why with the software, the wallet that we're building, we're making it more on the, it's not as easy to get access to those keys.
Yep.
So we give a Web2 experience, but everything's happening on the blockchain. So I think, or maybe that's a question to you, is is everybody going to have to use a hardware wallet? How, as we all adopt crypto, how are people going to secure their crypto wallets?
I think there's some things you can do that are relatively simple. One thing that I like is have a separate laptop only for crypto transactions. Don't use it, don't use any social media, don't use your email on that, except maybe if you need to pass something for a transfer. But keep that solely for crypto transactions. And that makes it much, much harder, I think, for somebody to infiltrate your key phrase or what have you. But I also think that there's protections coming that'll make it better. So I think the battle is from two directions, like the bad guys and the good guys. Like the bad guys are getting smarter, but the good guys are getting smarter.
Most people don't use the available security tools. That's another problem. You can use VPNs, anti-keylogger software, and protect yourself in that way as well. But the reality is many people don't do this. So I think getting over some of the user experience and technical hurdles will make a substantial difference. But we're still not there, in my opinion.
Hi guys. I don't really have a profound question or takeaway, but I just wanted to give some perspective. I'm here with like two different hats on. I just graduated from a master's program about 2 months ago, and 3 weeks ago I just joined JP Morgan, so I'm here with both of those hats on. It's my third cycle, and I want to say that the change in narrative from both the academia perspective, whether it's looking at crypto from a behavioral finance perspective, versus institutional adoption in terms of like the people at JP Morgan just talking about this, it's here to stay, and I fully recognize it. So I just want to add some extra commentary on top of what I think it was Max from BlackRock said earlier. So,
Drink time? Or?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you for all for coming.
Thank you so
And
much.
We don't want to hold you back from the bar. And, thank you. And please, anybody who wants to get into contact with me, say hi, and we'll exchange information.